I love this time of year. It's a huge day in the sport of thoroughbred racing, and I'm talking to a thoroughbred right now. So this is doubly good for me, man.
I don't know about all that. I'm just trying to stay warm out here.
Well, good luck on that, Coach, because it's a little chilly this morning. But let's talk about – I want to talk about something before we get into Lady Warrior basketball. I want you to kind of confirm something. Ohio State, is it? Didn't we talk last time we interviewed? I got to be on the air with you. Is your wife a big Ohio State fan? Is that what? Am I correct about that?
Yeah, my wife is from Ohio, and she's got some older relatives that played at Ohio State, and we actually I got to take her to the game, and we were there and had a great time, and it was a really cool experience for us to do as a couple. And yeah, go Buckeyes!
Yeah. Okay. So the atmosphere of something like that, because this is the first time that they've ever had, the 12-team playoff and all that good stuff. So I guess number one, the atmosphere, and you being the competitor that you are, the juices were flowing, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we actually went a couple of years ago to Mercedes-Benz Stadium when they played Georgia, and they missed that field goal at midnight. That kind of left a sour taste in our mouth, but that stadium is really nice, and it's not a far drive. It's about 3 hours and 45 minutes from Murfreesboro. And Notre Dame came out, and they scored on an opening drive and had everybody kind of shook a little bit in there, and then it kind of settled in, and it was a pretty good game. So I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. We kind of checked that off our list, and just kind of look for some other things to do now because those tickets were expensive as well.
Oh well, I'm sure of that. I'm sure of that. So okay, well, let's kind of flip the script a little bit here on let's talk about Riverdale Lady Warriors basketball. Coach, what's your record right now?
We just played our 20th game last night. We're sitting at 500, 10-10.
Wow, that's when you consider, of course, Lady Warrior basketball, and we've talked about this before, extremely proud tradition, all the state titles, all the banners in the gym. So then it kind of fell off a little bit. You've been part of the resurgence of Lady Warrior basketball here. So to be 10-10 after 20 games, you got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a two-sided coin for me. Because when you're making progress, you can't really look back until the season's over and reflect. And, when you're in the middle of the season, we've got 5 more district games and 1 more non-district game, so 6 regular season games. It's really easy to get caught up in, like, hey, we could have won this game, could have won that game. But the girls are playing a lot better, and there's a lot of progress, so we are proud of them. But as coaches, it's just a never-ending process of preparing for the next game. And so it's a little unsettling at times, but it's good. Each morning you can wake up and just have a new 24 and reflect on the good and just try to stay focused on the positive. But I'm definitely not satisfied with where we're at, but I'm proud of our girls and proud of the growth that they're showing. And just like I told them last night, every time we lose, that's on me. That's not on you. But I want them to be motivated to do better.
Well, yeah, then that's it, because you always want to have a what's next mentality, right? I mean, that's because that hunger, and that's one of the things that propels any competitor is having that hunger to succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. And the girls are fighting. We've lost. Last night we did a really good job of scoring. Oakland just shot a really high percentage, and they turned us over a little bit early, and they got off to a really fast start, and the second half was a lot more even. So we're just trying to figure out in those big games against Oakland, Blackman. We got real close against Rockvale twice last year during the regular season, but in those big games, how to play a little bit better than the other team for 32 minutes, and I think we're at that 75% mark. But they've got to be able to put together 4 full quarters and get the job done, and we're getting close. So it's a cool thing to see, but it's just a little unsettling, like I said, until it finally happens.
Coach, talk a little bit about offensive growth. Do you feel like your team has grown offensively, and what's been the key to that?
Yeah, I mean, we've got some really good shooters on our team, and, our shooters are pretty young. If you talk about Madison Taylor, she's just a sophomore. She led us in scoring last year. And you got a kid like Abby Dennis that's really been working on her outside shot. she's a junior and one of our team captains. And a kid like Alana Waller had 21 last night. She went 10 for 13 on her drives and made some good spins and finishes in the lane. And so that drive and kick is kind of our bread and butter. And that next step for us is going to be to develop just a little bit stronger post play down the stretch here in this regular season. But the girls are definitely scoring more points. They look a lot better when we play fast, and so we just try to stay running and gunning as much as we can. And we shoot a lot of threes, and we try to go rebound it, and we try to press when we can. And so it's cool to see, and they've definitely grown offensively.
So when you talk about speeding the game up, obviously you have to be in shape and conditioning, and 20 games into it, I'm sure you got girls in shape. But is that something that you concentrate on as far as the fitness aspect of the game?
Yeah, absolutely. And, last night, especially early on, we subbed 4 at a time just to kind of keep their legs fresh and let that first unit just have a few minutes to catch their breath and come right back out. But the girls have worked really hard on their strength and conditioning. And it's evident.
So, Coach, you just said something that kind of made me kind of think for a minute. When you can substitute 4 girls in, that's good for Riverdale Lady Warrior basketball because you've got some depth.
Yeah, absolutely. And in that 9-man rotation that we're kind of looking at right now, we've only got 1 senior that's there, and so there's 2 juniors, there's 2 sophomores, and then 4 freshmen that are getting a lot of experience right now. So it really is a young group, and I think they're going to be really good if they just continue to work hard and just stick together and just learn how to deal with adversity. And those district games, there's a few more people out there in the stands, and it's a little bit more competitive. But we're really young, and I'm proud of our kids because they're learning to handle those emotions in those scenarios.
That district challenge, for a guy like me, the district is fantastic because it's all, local kind of schools here doing battle. So, you don't have to drive very far. And that does put a lot of butts in the seats, and that's a good thing. Talk about the district challenge and how it's a good thing.
Yeah, we love it. One of our assistant coaches last night, Coach Gardner, he talked to the girls after the game, and it's true. Like, not a lot of people want to play, the Murfreesboro schools. I mean, there's a lot of talent. I went out and watched some middle school ball the other day, and it was just packed in there. And you can see that those kids need development, but there was size, there was guard play, there was definitely speed, and that's at the middle school level. And so once it gets to the high school level, I think all the teams in Murfreesboro are talented, and the reality is every night someone's going to score more points and less points, and someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. But there's a reason why this county and this league produce a lot of state champions, because the district play is so tough that if you can make it out and you can be in the top 2 in the region, you're going to have a really good chance to be in Murphy Center and playing for, a championship or something like that. So it's a great league. The environment's great. We had homecoming last night. There was a lot of cool stuff that they did for the students at Riverdale. And then after that, everybody helped clean the gym up, and so the gym was looking nice. And, it's a great school system, and they definitely produce a lot of good sports, not even just in girls basketball, but boys basketball, football, baseball, and all those other things.
So, Coach, when we talk about, you talk about wanting to speed the game up and play fast, defense is obviously a huge part of speeding the game up.
Yes, it is. And I think with our kids, they're learning how to do it. But like the ebbs and flows of a game, like maybe there's a foul called, and they don't understand like how to go ahead and get into position, and instead of waiting on the referees, just kind of knowing what's next. And so we're still guiding them a lot on when to get into their pressure defenses and stuff like that. But I think they're learning, and they're starting to pick up on the concepts. But you definitely got to get up and you got to get your defenses set. And, when your defenses are set, you have an advantage. And so you definitely have to have good transition plans too. And I think we struggled with our transition defense early in the game last night. And so we're still working on that.
Coach, talk about what you got coming up this week.
So we've got 2 games. We're going to Rockvale and to Siegel next week on Tuesday and Friday.
So big week. Obviously every game in the district is big. but Rockvale, that's kind of like the Highway 99 rivalry there. A little bit extra something in that one.
Yeah, we I like playing all the teams in our league. Rockvale's very talented. They've got really good guard play. They've got good post play. They're a very good defensive team, and they've got great foot speed. And so they're going to be another challenge for us. Siegel, I think they're still working on, just establishing that primary ball handler, but they've got good size, and they play well together, and those kids have great spirit. And so, I wouldn't be surprised if they start playing a little bit better down the stretch. And so I think just every team presents different challenges, but, yeah, we're excited about the Rockvale game. I do think when that school opened, it impacted our school a little bit because of where it's located and the pool of kids that it got. And now that both of the schools are, heavily populated and full, it's starting to the cultures of the programs are starting to materialize, and it's kind of becoming a rivalry.
Rivalry, no doubt. Well, Coach, listen, we certainly appreciate your time. We wish you the best of luck. If you want to see some improving Lady Warriors, get over there to Riverdale and check them out. Appreciate your time, Coach Bug. Wish you the best of luck.
You too, brother. Thank you.
Danny Brewer will be back in just a moment, but the Coaches Show is brought to you by Ideas Tees, who will be happy to help you fulfill all of your imprinted apparel, embroidery, and advertising specialty needs. Find out more at ideastees.com.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
Craig's Tax Service is located just off Memorial on Heritage Park Drive. You can contact us at 890-2233.
It makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We are proud to support all Rutherford County student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we're committed to providing local car owners with top-notch auto repair services. With over 2 decades of experience, our ASC certified master technicians are experts in both foreign and domestic vehicles, ensuring accurate diagnosis and timely, cost-effective repairs. From oil changes to major engine and transmission repairs, we've got the cure for your car. Dr. Automotive, keeping your car running smoothly, mile after mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
Here's your Little Caesar slices and sticks, half Italian cheese sticks, half pepperoni pizza. It's the world's greatest combination.
Carl? How could you? Sorry, PB&J. I wanted to try new things.
No!
Have some for yourself.
Yes.
No! Get hot and ready slices and sticks for $6.99. Walk in and walk out between 4 and 8 p.m.
Little Caesars Pizza is a proud supporter of all Rutherford County High School athletes. Be sure to visit your Murfreesboro Little Caesars today.
Pizza.
Parks Auction. We handle everything.
The auction is a means of drawing people together for a quick, easy sale.
I've always been a big fan of auctions. You get instant sale, no contingencies and everything. I've known the guys over there my entire life.
Visit our website at parksauction.com to learn more.
Hi there, do I have a home now?
Call Parks Auction at 896-4600. Stan Vaught and the Parks Auction team are proud supporters of local high school and MTSU sports.
30, sold it to you.
The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Bowen's Body Shop. From dings and dents to full body work, trust Jeff and Kyle Bowen to do the job right. They're located on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Danny Brewer back with you. Right now I'm tasting a glass of sweet tea because I've got the legendary Lonnie Drayton on the phone, Smyrna icon, Lady Bulldog leader. Coach, how are you this morning?
I'm good, man. How's it going?
Good, Coach. For those who don't know, I'm just going to go ahead and read a little bit off of your resume here. I remember when you were raining down threes as a boys basketball player on the Bulldog squad. I remember that. And then you graduated college, boys basketball assistant, boys basketball head coach. Softball leader now. Lady Bulldog leader. Coach, what do you not do over there at Smyrna High School?
Hey, that's that's a good question. I think you need to get with Dr. Sutherland, our principal, and tell her that I might need a little more. I mean, a little more a cut of the payment out here.
You reckon so? Well, see, what I want to try to do is get you on the Trump Hour schedule, because I think.
That's the key right there.
Yeah, if you can reach the Tony Trump Hour level, then you've actually achieved. Of course, me and Coach Trump are real close, but anyway, yeah, he's top shelf.
That's right. Hey, I mean, how many people are working every day in the room in a building that's named after you? I mean, that's when you know you are big time. We've got the Tony Trump Power Aquatic Center, and he gets up every day and shows kids who runs it right there. I mean, that's Mr. Rake's level right there.
You're absolutely right. And, of course, Coach Trump, he's not a guy that's, that's about, hey, look at me or anything like that. Not at all. But he said something one day because somebody said something, and of course Coach Trumpauer is very regimented and very disciplined, and somebody said something to him about something in the swimming pool, changed something in the swimming pool. He said, well, I don't think we're going to do that because it says Tony Trumpauer Aquatic Center, so I'm going to decide what's going to happen in there.
Perfect.
Yeah. So all right, so let's just dispense with our rhetoric and let's talk about Lady Bulldog basketball because that's what we're here for. The week. Let's talk a little bit about the week that was. Wilson County. You played Wilson Central and Lebanon. Talk a little bit about those two games, coaching. What happened?
I'm gonna tell you, Lebanon. This district is it's unbelievable. The talent that's out there. These girls. That Lebanon team was unbelievable, and then to see that they lost to Cookeville girls last night, that's a shocker too. I mean, it's not really a shocker because Cookeville's awesome. But Lebanon, our girls, and we're young. That's what people don't understand. We have two seniors, but one plays, starts and plays significant minutes a lot. But for the most part, we're out there with three freshmen playing and two sophomores or three sophomores playing, and I mean, I don't even one junior plays some minutes, but we really are young, and a lot of it is being introduced to things at a high level high school division right there. So when you have Lebanon coming in and these girls are older, they play with each other all summer and they play the game at 100 miles per hour, and it was almost a slap in the face. But it was learned. I mean, I think our girls learned, and they took it to Wilson Central last night, and we came out there with guns a-blazing, and we're up significant at halftime. I think we're up by 7 at halftime against Wilson Central at Wilson Central, and then some certain things didn't go our way, and it was a free throw game at the end, and that wasn't our strong point. We ended up losing by 6 or 7. So it was. But you take the Lebanon game, the learning from the Lebanon game, and they smacked us in the face. So you take that game, and then you go and have the other game, the Wilson Central game, and our kids, learned and acclimated and went out there with what they learned in the Lebanon game and applied it. So it was good.
Coach, one of the things that I've seen from this year's squad is you're very competitive. The girls are very competitive. They play hard. They try really hard. You've got several different girls that can play. The freshmen are very encouraging, and I know they're freshmen, but the best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores.
That's right. And we've got one of our freshmen. I mean, we got a couple of freshmen, but the little number 24, Micaiah James, she's as athletic as they come. She's probably the most athletic girl. I mean, great basketball size. You know when she walks in the gym, she's a player. And she's a freshman. So one of the things we're dealing with is body language. When you're frustrated, not tearing up and, going out there, flushing the bad play and coming to make the next play. That's the mentality that we got to have. And when you're coaching, and I've got, I've got daughters, as well as my basketball and softball daughters. I've got, blood daughters that I've raised, and you have to handle, female athletes a little differently sometimes, and they have to understand how to apply it, how to go, about bad situations, and, how to battle back from them, how to be resilient in that capacity. So, it's fun to watch them. They compete. These girls, from top to bottom, these freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, and it's sort of, people don't understand. I actually had one of our girls come up to me last night after the game and apologize. I've never had a player apologize because they didn't take a charge. Coach, I'm sorry. You told me in practice to get in front and move my feet, and I sort of jumped at her, and I'm sorry. Next time, I promise I'll make that play for you. That's, after you lose a close game, a kid comes up to you and says something like that. It almost makes me, have to, tell them to walk away because I'm not trying to see my eyes tear up in front of them. I got to be a tough guy. So.
Right. Well, yeah, being a tough guy can be tough in that situation, but that's what brings you back every day and why you get up every morning and do it, right, Coach? Things like that.
It really is, and it's encouraging. I look at it, and me and you have talked about this. We've got teams that might be, undefeated, 25-0, but their girls come to practice miserable the next day. They come to practice and they don't want to work as hard. They just want to go up and play the games. Our girls every single day come to practice and work their butts off. They act like every practice is a game. And every drill we do, every defensive stance, and they are sweating, they're going hard. Some of them are even, saying they're sore at the end of practice. So I don't want that, but I want them to go hard and understand the way you have to play. If you're going to flip a program, you have to play hard. You have to practice hard. You have to go game speed all the time, so it makes the games easier.
Coach, when you talk about your young team, the growth you've seen from the first practice to right now, talk about that growth, and are you happy with where you're at, or give me your thoughts on that?
Right, I'm happy at in certain capacities. I'm happy at certain things. My biggest thing is let's not make the same mistakes we made in November. At our first practices in our first official practices in November. Let's not make the same mistakes. Let's have growth every single practice. If you find yourself, doing the same thing we're coaching you not to do in February or into January, we got a problem then. So, and you have to revisit it a lot. Every coach knows that you have to revisit it a lot. Teenage kids will be teenage kids. So. We have to touch base on every practice. And the thing is when they start applying it in games, they start applying it in practices, I love to see the growth right there. So if we can find a way to always consistently, not revert back to the same mistakes that we made earlier, that's when we're getting better. Let's make new mistakes. So we can correct those as well. So.
I think that's the challenge of every coach. Let's talk about what we got coming up, Coach. Big week. I know Friday night is Laverne. You've been part of the Smyrna-Laverne rivalry in many aspects, in many different sports. So, Smyrna-Laverne is special, but this game is especially special because of who's on the other bench, and that's your old buddy and rival Steve Carter. Talk a little bit about what you got going on for Friday night.
That's right. That's it's a huge game. Being that first off, it's a district game. Second off, it's one of my best friends, growing up. It's one of my guys right there. So spend the night over each other's house. My mom thinks that's her other son, So it's always, competitive. Like I want Steve to beat everybody in the district but us, and Steve's family, when his dad was here, I used to talk to him, Mr. Carter, all the time, Donnie Carter, all the time, and and he would tell me flat out, that's my son. I go for my son, but I'm never gonna root against you if I put off.
There you go.
That's just how the community sees it right there. So you'll see in that Smyrna Laverne game, you'll see a lot of old Smyrna faces that, you know, are sitting on, you know, in the middle of the court, you know, because, you know, you got two Smyrna guys basically going up against each other. So, you know, it's a fun thing. But, you know, as far as the girls are concerned, it's sort of weird because, you know, I was talking to Omar, our boys coach, the other day, and, you know, he deals with the same thing. These kids see, like, when I was playing, it was Smyrna Laverne. You know, the city shut down. It was standing room only at these games. You know, and now, you know, the kids look at it as, you know, oh, this is a big game. This is it's a big Laverne game, but they don't see it as the same rivalry capacity because of all the schools that are around here. So they see more. They might look at Stewart, especially the boys, look at Stewart's Creek more of the rivalry instead of, you know, because that's the kids that they went to school with, you know. So as a coach, I still, you know, the biggest rivalry to me is Smyrna Laverne. Like, I look at, you know, I don't see Blackman in Riverdale. I see it's the Oakland and Riverdale game.
Right,
you know?
right, yeah, because you're old school.
Exactly. That's how we grew up. There were 4 high schools. There was Smyrna Laverne, Oakland, and Riverdale. You know,
right?
That's
right.
what it was.
Yeah, absolutely right, Coach. Absolutely right. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. We wish you the best of luck. It's going to be a big night next Friday at Smyrna when Smyrna and Laverne play. It's going to be a huge night. I think there's going to be a Legends shootout at halftime of the girls' game. Phyllis Hall is going to shoot out against Patty Floyd Short, both girls basketball legends. The boys' game at halftime of it's going to be Felix Sales versus O.J. Smith in a free throw shooting contest. So it's going to be, we got Legends night, it's Smyrna Laverne night. It's going to be really special. I encourage everyone to get out there and see it, Coach. We wish you the best of luck. Have a good week.
Hey, you too. Thanks a lot, bud.
Yes, sir. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. That's Dan France Concrete.
If you need concrete work done, who would I call? Dan France Concrete. Here's why. He's local. He attended Walter Hill Elementary, Oakland, and MTSU. He served our community as a school resource officer for 9 years, and he's involved in the community.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Dan France Concrete is a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. Check out danfranceconcrete.com online to see some of their work.
Participating in Murfreesboro's special census could help bring more funding to our city, $175 per resident per year. Here's Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland.
Those dollars shared with us will greatly benefit our community, build roads, maintain parks, improve public safety, and much more.
It's fast and easy. Complete the form online at murfreesborocensus.com.
Count me in.
Okay, count me in.
And count me in, too.
Let's make sure every resident counts. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Rick's Barbecue, serving up the best smoked barbecue ribs and many local favorites on Warrior Drive, locally operated by Anne Marie Brents and the Lanning family. Danny Brewer here. You know, I don't know if it gets much better than Blackman Lady Blaze head basketball coach Jennifer Grandstaff. Coach, you know, I'm thrilled right now to have you on the phone. How are you, Coach?
Hey, I'm doing great, Danny. Thanks. Appreciate the nice comments. I don't know. I think it gets a lot better than that, but anyway, I do appreciate it. Glad to be here this morning.
Well, Coach, as a veteran guy who's seen a lot and all that stuff, I think I'm right. So anyway, that's what I tell my kids all the time is, you know, I may not be right all the time, but I think I am.
That's right.
So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the Lady Blaze. What's your record right now?
Danny, I'm not sure. I think I don't know. But 15-2. I know we're 2.
Well, I think I saw 16-2. Now I don't know, but you know what, Coach? That tells me right there how good you are, because the record doesn't matter. It's a what's next mentality, and that's kind of where you're at, right? It doesn't matter what we've done. What are we going to do, right?
Right, definitely. Yeah, we don't put much focus on what's just happened. We're pretty much worried about what's coming. So that's just kind of our approach to our whole program. Let's just continue to improve, and let's look at the next game and see what we got to do to be successful.
Well, Coach, I do want to rewind real quick. Let's talk about last night's game. Okay. I think you played Rockvale, and Rockvale has been a program that in their infancy, because the school's not that old, but they have been really good at times. So talk about what happened last night, because I think maybe you ladies sent a little bit of a message last night.
Oh, gosh, I thought it was a great ball game. Rockvale came out just on fire. I thought they were played really purposeful. They were very focused. They did a great job defensively. They pushed the ball. I think we got down 11-3 at one point, and it was extremely physical. Lyric Maston went out in the first minute of the game, got a pretty good thigh bruise, took a knee to the thigh, and we lost another kid to a bloody nose. And, it was just one of those knockdown, drag-out games. But I was just really pleased with how our kids handled the physicality of the game. Probably one of the toughest battles we've been in a while. You try to warn your young kids, like, hey, this is going to be a really physical, aggressive game. Let's make sure we're really tight and fundamental with everything that we do. And they kind of look at you like, we got this, Coach, we got this. But I was really pleased with the way they responded as well, because it did get physical, and a couple of them got to see double teams a lot, triple teamed, and I thought they handled it well. And just really proud of just how we weathered the storm early in the game, and just stayed the course and had a great second quarter, and things just went our way late in the game as well.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned her, Lyric Masson. She's one of the blossoming flowers on this team, is she not? She pours in points. Talk a little bit about that player.
Hands down, she's just been phenomenal for us. Extremely special kind of player. I've been so fortunate to coach great players at Blackman, and Lyric's just another one. I'm telling you, she has elevated her game, elevated her maturity, elevated her leadership for us. She's just been an all-around great competitor. That's, she's done everything we've asked of her. She's really embraced our young kids. A lot of times upperclassmen have a hard time, embracing younger players that come in there that are talented and going to play a lot. And Lyric's just really embraced them and worked with them, and been a great leader for them. So just extremely proud of her growth throughout over the last course of the year. She's just answered everything that we've asked out of her.
When last night, when she suffered that injury early, was there any panic in your team? I know she's the leader, but was there any panic, or was there more of a rally, you feel like?
I don't think there was a panic. I think there was a little bit of like, okay, we're going to be okay. They kind of looked at each other, maybe a little rally right there, but they know Lyric. She's probably one of the. I've been in this a long time, and I'll tell you, when you have players that go down, you kind of, oh gosh, you cringe. But with Lyric, when she goes down, it's kind of like, just give her a minute, because I know she's gonna get back up, and she's gonna be ready to compete. It might be a minute, might be 5 minutes, or it might be immediately. But either way, she's gonna get back in that ball game, and she's gonna be a competitor. So, she's just tough, hard-nosed kind of kid. So I think our kids know that about Lyric, and I think that they felt it was just a matter of time till we had her back in there.
So when we talk about tough and hard-nosed and all that stuff, she's kind of a tone setter for the rest of the team, you feel like?
Oh, definitely. She's a tone setter in the locker room. She's a tone setter in practice. She's a tone setter in the game. Kids kind of follow. That's great. If you got your leader and one of your best players that's going to come in and demand it every day in practice and not take days off, then you got a chance. I've always felt you got a chance to be a pretty good program. And, when you got that leader that doesn't really want to work hard, not crazy about practice, then you're going to be an average to maybe a little bit above average. So, Lyric's Lyric's really been super in terms of that, of what she kind of demands of her players and expectation and the standards that she set. We've got some that juniors that have just followed that and have done the same and kind of had the same type of mindset. And then it's just our younger kids just follow the lead.
Coach, talk a little bit about another one of your players, Layla Hall. I think she had a big game last night against Rockvale too.
Yep. Layla, talented freshman. We knew coming in that one of those gifted players. Got a lot of God-given ability. She's got a great body, great size, strong. She can elevate. She's young, but she's we see the progression that she's made week by week. She kind of looks at us like we're silly when we say, you got to do this, you got to do that, because she thinks she's doing it. But, we just want her to do it harder, stronger, faster, quicker than what she's done in the past, because the game's such a more physical, faster-paced game. And she's responded well for us again as well. And she's just she's a special player. You're going to hear a lot of Layla Hall in the next 3.5 years. You'll hear that. That'll be another legend name that has come through Blackman High School.
When you talk about a freshman, I think she knocked down 22 last night. A freshman knocking down 22 in a varsity game against a big rival. It got to be you got a smile on your face about that, don't you?
Oh, sure. Like I said, we knew she was a special athlete, and she's really progressed and developed. But yeah, I mean, she and Layla has to work for her points. I'm telling you, the word's out that she gets touches. She gets triple, like several times she had a triple team on her in there, double team. And she's starting to expect it, and expect the physicality of it. At first she's kind of like, wonder why, why are they sending two? And we're like, well, Layla, you're pretty much a go-to kind of player. They're going to, people, are aware of you and, got to be able to defend you in order to have success. And she's come a long way, and she just continues to mature and to grow every day in practice for us as well.
So when we talk about these two players individually, Hall and Maston, you're right. People scout them. They know what's up, right? So you're not sneaking up on anybody.
No. Not in our league. Our coaches in our league, they do their homework, they work at it, they study it. And, it's pretty much all around. Everybody, people, they're in it for a reason. They love it, and they love to work at it and study it. So they usually come out with a great game plan against those two individuals.
Coach, we're going to talk about thoroughbred racing for just a moment and how it relates to your team, because you love thoroughbred racing. I live thoroughbred racing, okay? So the big day at Gulfstream Park in South Florida, the Pegasus World Cup Day, I think there's the last 6 races are all graded stakes races. The filly and mare turf is the one I want to talk about. There's a couple horses in there. There's one Irish bred trained by Saffie Joseph, won 2 in a row. Be Your Best. How important is it for your team to understand every night out you got to be your best?
We talk a lot about that. We've got to be our best, because we know we're going to get everybody else's best shot when they get to play us. It's just, kids, a lot of times they look at you and they think they understand it, but to be your best is tough. I mean, because you got to be your best at every possession, every little thing that we stress, like how you cut to the ball, how you meet your pass, how strong you are with the ball, how well do you block out, all those things that you take for granted that just come along with the nature of the game. I mean, we really stress to our kids, we got to be our best at the little things. We can be our best at the little things, the big things will take care of themselves. So can't harp on that enough. Be your best, be your best, be your best. That's just a big part of who we are.
Coach, you've inspired me. Be Your Best, 6-1 on the morning line. I think I'm going to have a ticket on her. Let's talk about one more. Mark Cassie trained. She's 2 for 2 lifetime at Gulfstream Park, where the race is being run today. Pounce. Love it. 15-1 on the morning line. She's my live long shot. Pounce. How important is it whenever you come out to pounce on the opponent to send a message to them, hey, look, we are Blackman, and we're going to be Blackman?
I don't know if that's a focus of Pounce. I mean, obviously, we don't talk so much about our opponent anymore. We're such a young team. We talk so much more about us. Let's, like you said, be our best, be our best. If we're our best, then we got a great chance to be successful. And if we happen to be successful and to the point where, we get a solid victory against an opponent, I think that's a plus for us. But never so much about the opponent. It's always more about us this year.
Well, Coach, I think that's an outstanding strategy, and that's why you are the legendary Jennifer Grandstaff. We appreciate your time. We certainly wish you the best of luck, Coach.
All right. Thanks so much, Danny. Great to hear from you.
Yes, ma'am. The Coach's Show is brought to you by the Murfreesboro Special Census. Counting everyone means more. State dollars to improve roads, parks, and services. Fill out the fast, easy, and secure form at murfreesborocensus.com.
And the Blue Raiders win again.
I need to get some MT gear. Let's go to the mall.
Mall store? Really? Thought you wanted gear. Any Blue Raider stores in the mall?
Well, no.
You'll only find a limited selection mixed in with dozens of other schools and teams. My choice is Raider Tees, who specializes in Blue Raider gear with hundreds of items to choose from. They're located just off Broad Street behind Chewy's on Ridgely Road.
Raider Tees.
Like us on Facebook for early notice of specials and sales.
Raider Tees. Bigger, better, and go blue.
Pizza. Murfreesboro's favorite pizza is now hiring at all 3 local locations. That's right. We want you to join the Sir Pizza team. Stop in at our East Main, Veterans Parkway, or Memorial Boulevard locations and let us know how you'd like to join the Sir Pizza family. Also, we've made it even easier to order for carryout or delivery. Just head on over to sirpizzatn.com.
Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brandon Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
We fulfill all your tax preparation needs from individual returns to corporations and handle any of those scary letters you may get from the IRS.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We're proud to support all Rutherford County athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
Franklin's Printworks has been in Murfreesboro for over 25 years. We are a full-service commercial printer, everything from business cards, brochures, booklets to banners. My name is Jeff Carlton. I handle sales and marketing for Franklin's Printworks. We hear a lot people who have been working with printers on the internet, had issues, and they know that if we're working with someone local, that A, they know where to find us, and B, they know that we'll take care of it because we have to take care of our neighbors. Our website is franklinsprinting.org.
Winners Trophies can help you with customized awards for any occasion. Owner Kelly Hockenberry continues to provide awards for sports teams, churches, recognition awards, and more. Call Winners Trophies at 904-6002. That's 904-6002 for the best in quality, service, and pricing. You can also email Kelly, winnerstrophy@comcast.net. That's winnerstrophy@comcast.net. Any award for any occasion. Winners Trophies, 904-6002.
We're here at Rick's Barbecue catching up with Anne-Marie Brent, who tells us not only do they have barbecue, smoked chicken, loaded baked potatoes, but the slaw dogs are out of this world.
I do love the slaw dogs. People are like, is that a big sausage? I'm like, no, it's a deep fried hot dog. And the slaw that we put on them is a spicy mustard slaw. It's actually really good. I like to dip it in white sauce.
Rick's Barbecue has awesome deals to feed the entire family.
We have family packs, and it can feed 4 to 6 people. We have a picnic pack, which is the family pack doubled.
Rick's Barbecue, 212 Warrior Drive.
Local business owners, you know how important it is to be here for your customers. I'm State Farm Agent Emerson Williams, and I run a small business in Rutherford County too. And I'm here to help you protect your small business. Call me at 615-459-2683.
So what if your roommate decides to microwave a metal mixing bowl and sets your apartment on fire? I'm State Farm Agent Andy Wommel. Auto, renters, frankly, any kind of insurance. I've got your back. Call me at 615-890-0850.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
We are back here on the Coach's Show. This portion is brought to you by the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injured victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com. We had a bit of a scheduling conflict this morning with our Laverne segment. The Lady Wolverines, we'll get back to that here in a couple of weeks with Coach Steve Carter. And thought we would just talk about some of the girls' highlights from last night. Of course, you heard Danny talking with Coach Grandstaff just a moment ago, but both Layla Hall and Lyric Maston with 22 and 21 points last night in their win over Rockvale. Brinley Bain with her comeback. You'll hear more about that. She scored 5 threes, 20 points in their win over Fayetteville in last night's contest. We're going to talk with Oakland in a few moments. Cadence Wisniewski at 15 in their win over Riverdale, 65-44. And Riverdale's Elena Waller with 21 points in that same loss to Oakland to lead the way last night. Some of the scores: Kalia Crawford, leading scorer for the Rockvale Lady Rockets, with 15 points last night. Here's a look at some of the scores from this past week. And we'll give you some of the Tuesday scores, too. Tuesday, Friday. Oakland is playing Oak Ridge today as well. So a little more about that coming up. Providence Christian defeated BGA 43-26, and then had a 52-42 win over FRA last night. MTCS drops a decision to Webb 61-37, and that was our look at Division II. In District 7 from the week, it was Stewart's Creek defeating Laverne 60-37, and Cookeville over Laverne 46-21. Lebanon 57, Smyrna 18, and Wilson Central edging. Wilson Central 47, Smyrna 39 last night, and Stewart's Creek improved to 12-9 on Tuesday, downing Wilson Central 60-46. To District 8 4A, it was Blackman 59, Rockvale 43. And Blackman a 65-33 victory over Oakland. Oakland 65, Riverdale 44. Rockvale 72, Siegel 14. And, of course, we told you what happened there with Eagleville this week. That's just a quick look at an update on your Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home scoreboard here this morning. We are going to hear from our friends at State Farm and then back with our regular coaches this morning. Oakland will be up here shortly, so stay with us. You're listening to the Prentice Allsup Heating & Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Hey there, it's Brian, and as a customer of First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, I've seen firsthand how they go above and beyond. They have the Gateway and Memorial Boulevard locations, along with 9 more across Middle Tennessee. They make it easy to get the help I need, and I can always talk to a real person. That's a big deal nowadays. That's why I trust First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. They're always there when I need them.
First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. We show up for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 401715.
Time once again for Get to Know Your State Farm agent, and we're catching up with Emerson Williams. Emerson, you were just telling me about your athletic prowess at Oakland High School.
Yes, Brian. I'm an old Oakland Patriot, class of 97.
Where has life led you, and how did you get into State Farm Insurance?
Well, life has led me right to Murfreesboro and been a lifelong Rutherford County resident. I started out at We Care Daycare and then went to Head Start. Also went to elementary school at Mitchell Nelson Primary and Elementary, Central Middle School, Oakland High School, and I got my bachelor's degree in business from right here at MTSU.
So you're Murfreesboro, Rutherford County through and through, huh?
Through and through, yeah. My family's been here, a few hundred years, so, this is home.
And part of this now with your career at State Farm, your office in Smyrna, you're helping a lot of North Rutherford County folks now.
Yeah, so we're helping North Rutherford County, and I had the honor to be the next agent. I was able to step in, and the good part about it is my family's been with State Farm for a number of years, so I was actually able to inherit some of my family members, and I started my family in Smyrna, married my wife in Smyrna. We had our little boy, Joshua. My wife's on the front line. She's a nurse and has had faith that I was going to be doing this even before I had it.
Wow. Funny how life takes us on journeys, and this is just yours. And who would have thought back when you were running the football for Rick Butler at Oakland High School that you would be here today?
No, it's so funny because I can remember going to the Oakland Riverdale game and catching the State Farm football from one of the cheerleaders back in the 80s. And that was my first exposure to State Farm. And then I remember in 1989 when they opened up the Operations Center, I was playing Little League Baseball over at McKnight Field. So, it's just really cool to just kind of, looking back over the years, my formative years, State Farm. I remember even doing my coach pitch at the old Operations Center on Memorial by the old arcade. And some of you guys, I just aged myself a whole lot. I'm State Farm in Murfreesboro, in Rutherford County, resident through and through.
Well, if folks would like to talk with you about home, auto, really any type of insurance needs that they might have, I'm sure you'd be more than happy to talk to them.
Yes, and we're passionate about what we do. And a big secret that a lot of people don't know, we can help you with your small business. I'm a small business owner who wants to help other small business owners. Well, I love the opportunity to sit down and let my MBA work for you guys.
So we just look up Emerson Williams online and offices in Smyrna. What's your phone number out there?
My phone number is 615-459-2683, 615-459-2683. And you can Google us and just put Emerson Williams State Farm Insurance. We would love you to stop by and just chat with us.
Well, I appreciate you partnering with us to continue to highlight the athletics here in Rutherford County. It's yourself and the other State Farm agents that are a really huge part of what we do here, and without you, we wouldn't be able to do it. So thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for the opportunity, and I'm happy to be here. Go Patriots.
Emerson Williams joining us on this Get to Know Your State Farm Agent from News Radio WGNS.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
How about a fix for your sweet tooth? Donut Country is open 24 hours a day to cure your cravings. They've been serving up the freshest donuts in Murfreesboro since 1978. There's just something different about donuts from Donut Country. Bo and Cindy Davis and their wonderful staff will greet you with a smile, and you'll see all donuts aren't created equal. Fresh donuts anytime you want them 24/7 at Donut Country on Memorial down from Clark. And they're open each morning on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Check out their Facebook page for specials and promotions. Nothing else compares to Donut Country. Open 24 hours.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the Law Offices of John Day. I've lived and worked as a lawyer in Middle Tennessee for over 30 years, and to me, every single day has been an honor. That's why our firm is so involved with community programs like bicycle helmet giveaways and our Safe Ride Home program. At the Law Offices of John Day, we're not just looking to make donations. We want to make a difference in the community we hold so dear. And if you're ever injured, know that we are here for you too.
The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
We're back on the Coaches Show, brought to you by First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. If you're looking for a hometown feel with your bank, turn to First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, offering full-service banking and mortgage services. Time to talk some Oakland girls basketball. The head coach, Scott Thomas, is in this morning. Is that a little weird to still hear? You know, I know it's your first year and all. Head coach Scott Thomas, Oakland High School.
Yeah, it is weird, but getting used to it, I guess.
I guess. We were just talking to ask you about your schedule coming up next week, and by the time we get to next Friday, that starts the second go-through in the district, and hard to believe we're almost to the midway point, and I guess you are to the midway point because you have your bye, I guess, Tuesday.
Yeah, so we've played everybody once. Had a real good game last night, a game that felt like we really needed to win. And, our girls came out swinging and, got us a lead early and held on to it. Yeah.
Final score in that one last night was 65-44. And I mentioned to you earlier, I think the girls' league altogether has continued to get better, all across the board.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, every district game, you gotta prepare and you gotta be ready to go out and play really well to win the games. A lot of competitive teams, great coaches, and a lot of really good players in our league.
Someone was asking questions. They wanted to know about boys basketball and the best boys basketball teams, and I said, well, we got some really good girls teams too. And he said, well, I just like the guys' game. It's a lot more physical. And I said, have you watched a high school girls game?
Yeah, it's physical. Especially our games with Blackman, Rockvale, and last night with Riverdale. I mean, it's those are physical games, and it's like that in our district.
Yeah, for sure. Last night, I think. Was it Wisniewski who led the way for you?
Yeah,
15?
She had 15. But, it was kind of our, usually when she's on, somebody else is having an off night. But, last night she had 15. Laura Cox had 12, I think. McKenya Seibert had 12, 14. And then, Riley Mullen shot the ball well too, and she was in double digits as well. So
you had 4 double-digit scores
last night. Yeah, we had 4 in
night.
double digits. So it was, a game. I felt like it was a game that we kind of all were hitting on all cylinders. Yeah,
and you and I have talked several times, and it's the thing about it is to win the quarter, but there are 4-quarter games, so that's win 4 quarters, right?
Yeah, especially against Rockvale and Blackman, Rockvale we were up 3 at half, and then Blackman, it was a 3-point game after the first quarter. So we've shown that we can compete with the teams in our league. It's just maintaining and keeping the intensity up for 4 quarters.
And got that last night.
Yeah, we did. Like I said, we jumped out on them early. I think we had a 20-point lead at halftime, and our challenge to them at halftime was to come out with the same energy and intensity the third quarter, and I think we did that for the first time in a while.
We're talking with Scott Thomas, the head coach of the Oakland girls. This week, Caden seems to be that force that can come in and if you see her play and if she misses a couple, you're thinking it's not going to be that night, but then she just bangs through about 3 in a row.
Yeah, she's got the green light, so I always tell her if she's got the shot, she better be shooting it. And I think she gets a little frustrated on herself sometimes when she's not making those shots, but she's a kid, I've said it before, that she plays the whole entire game, and the kind of shape that she's in is pretty impressive, and she's plays with great effort on defense too, and I really feel like Laura Cox, our point guard, is really starting to step her game up too, and she was huge for us last night. To me, I thought she looked like the best player on the court. Just her intensity on defense early got us a lot of turnovers, and just the way that she handled the ball. When they were trying to trap us and things like that.
You in the course of trying to keep up with teams and whatnot, I mean, your eyes always go to, how many points. But,
right.
You've got to have somebody that does the things that maybe don't equal points, but getting the ball down the floor, working through traps, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's the dirty work, you know. Yeah. A lot of the culture of the kids, you know, these days is, you know, all about how many points you score and things like that. And so, you know, that stuff's great, you know. But if you're scoring points and your team's not winning, you know, then I feel like, you know, that's a little you're not, you know, the way that you approach the team and your selfishness is not where it needs to be if that's your mindset. But I feel like our team is definitely getting better with that.
And I guess those are like the left tackles in football. They may not get a lot of the press, but they're putting in the hard work to make everybody else step up. And you know, it's those little things. What are the little things for you that you look for that are maybe not in the score box, but that are important for your team to be successful?
It's all the dirty work stuff, you know, limiting the other team on rebounding. You know, I feel like in, you know, games, especially with Rockvale and Blackman, you know, we go through spurts where they out-rebound us, you know, at points in the game that we don't need them to get. Because, you know, you give teams like that second shots and, you know, you're putting yourself in a bad spot. So, you know, just working hard to rebound. You know, if there's a loose ball, you know, we call them 50-50 balls. You know, we should have people diving on the floor and you know, doing the physical part and, you know, doing everything we can to get the ball and, you know, not turning the ball over, you know, especially against good teams.
If you don't give effort on a 50-50 ball, it's 0 to 100, right?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. So, you know, that's probably the main three categories, you know, we talk about is, you know, limiting the other team's offensive rebounds, us getting offensive rebounds, you know, limiting our turnovers, and then winning the 50-50 balls.
Well, you've got Rockvale coming up, and you had them at your place, and it was a 3-point game at half, or
we were up 3 at half.
Yeah,
I think,
I just remember coming away from that game thinking that about the great game that Seibert had, and you've got things. And she had 20, I believe, that night, and you know, when you can get them. Doesn't have to be 20, but if you can do what you did last night and get 3-4 players in double figures, you're going to be in games.
Yeah, that's the key. And, you know, she's another one who defensively is she's a scrapper. You know, she's got that dog mentality in her, and, you know, she's not scared. And, you know, we just got to keep her confidence up and her intensity, you know, especially on defense. I think the better she is on defense, the more offense, you know, she can create. So, and that's with everybody. So, yeah, it's just keeping everybody on the same page and, you know, contributing.
Well, Scott Thomas with us from Oakland High School. Girls basketball week this week on the Coaches Show, and I'm sure you want to thank Dyron for scheduling this Oakland game. I'm sure he scheduled that, didn't he?
Oak Ridge. Yeah, that's kind of how our schedule's been all year. You know, we'll go on a 1 or 2 game, you know, win streak, and then it's like bam, you're playing another top 10 team in the state. So, but you know, for us, that's I think it's good that you know, I'd rather play a team like Oak Ridge than, you know, playing somebody that you know you're going to beat by 20 points. I feel like the strength of our schedule, I really do believe is going to pay off for us come district tournament time.
Yeah. Is that a home game?
Yes, play at home today. Yeah, we start at 2 o'clock.
At least you don't have to make that trip.
Yeah,
on top of that.
Good. Yeah.
So 2 o'clock for the girls' game with the boys' game to follow at Randy King Gymnasium today, and then you're bye on Tuesday, and then it's Rockvale again, and you get to do the home games that you had. Now you do those on the road here the next few weeks.
Yeah, so we've only got, I guess we got Riverdale left to come to us at home, and then, you know, all the other 3 are away. So big second half. You know, our goal is just to keep competing every game and, you know, try to win 1 or 2 that, you know, people think we're not supposed to.
Well, I I honestly think you probably have at least halfway through here give a tip of the cap to Blackman because they're undefeated. Yeah. But, I mean, you were right there with Rockvale. You've got kind of a hold on third at this point, and now the next few weeks is just to see can we improve our seed and go into the district tournament.
Yeah, for sure. You know, every game we go in, you know, thinking that we have a chance to win. So that's what our girls, you know, have been super proud of them in their fight in every game we've played so far, and you know they compete every game, and you know, that's, as a coach, that's about all you can ask for. So. Well,
who is your partner here with you this morning that's going to be doing some competing on his own today?
Yeah, this is my son Owen. He's got a nickname. We call him the Big O. But he's 8, and he does it all. You know, he plays baseball. He's in basketball now, and he's playing flag football too. So
all right.
He keeps us busy. But yeah, he's got a game at 12 today, so I'm going to try to get over there and watch him a little bit before I head back over to school for our game. So.
Well, when I did your dad's games on the radio when he played in high school, so I want to make sure I do yours here in a few years. All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming in today this morning. Good luck with Oak Ridge this afternoon. And Scott Thomas, our guest from Oakland on the Coach's Show, brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza with 4 Murfreesboro locations: Memorial Boulevard, Warrior Drive, South Rutherford Boulevard, and Old Fort Parkway. Get hot and ready pizza from Little Caesars.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Las Casas Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door.
Whether you have a quarter acre or several, Las Casas Feed Supply has premium feeds and dog foods you can't find in box stores.
Nutrition is our specialty here at Las Casas Feed.
Plus, every Saturday morning they have a local producer-only farmers market with fresh vegetables, beef, pork, and more.
Customer service and expertise that exceeds your expectations.
Family owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, Las Casas Feed Supply on Barlow Lane, just off Highway 96 East in Las Casas.
With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Hi, I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. Stop by our office in the Public Shopping Center on South Rutherford Boulevard or give us a call at 615-907-7056. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Are you tired of feeling like just another number with your insurance provider? At Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna, Agent Rick Hall prides himself on offering personalized service that puts you first. Every client's needs are unique. From personal home and auto coverage to tailored business insurance, Rick Hall's got you covered. Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna, where you're more than just a policy number. You're a neighbor.
Head over to J. Mullins Jewelry to check out their selection of rings, watches, custom design jewelry, and much more. They're a local business located at 352 West Northville Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. They have gifts for all occasions, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, whatever you need, you can find it at J. Mullins Jewelry. That's at 352 West Northville Boulevard or online at mullinsjewelry.com.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive offers complete tax preparation, financial, and bookkeeping services.
This is Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service. From personal tax preparation to business bookkeeping, payroll, and taxes, at Craig's Tax Service, our staff is here to help.
Get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
As a former Siegel Star football player, I know the importance of the high school sports experience. Good luck to all county student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
We are back here on the Coaches Show, brought to you by JHA Company. That's Josh Houston and Associates. Jewelry, letter jackets, yearbooks, graduation products, and more. JHACompany.com. It's time to talk Stewart's Creek girls hoops this morning. And the head coach, Sloan Starkey, joins us here this morning. And, Coach, we were just talking with Scott Thomas at Oakland about, here we're getting ready to go through the second go-through. It's district's gone pretty quick, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's flying by.
For you, right now, 12-9 on the season, and kind of give us the temperature, if you will, of Lady Redhawks basketball, where you are now, and kind of maybe a bit about where you want to be here coming up.
Well, as of recently, we're rolling pretty good. We're on a 3-game win streak, and we're winning the right way. We're doing things that are going to be helpful in some more competitive games. Overall course of the season, 12-9 is probably not where I thought we would be at this point. Suffered some tough losses throughout the year that I did not expect. Speaking of Oakland got us at home, and that one caught us by surprise. Oakland came in playing really well coached up, and that one snuck up on us. So that was a little disappointing there. And then we had two other losses this year so far that kind of caught us off guard a little bit. But overall, 12-9, we're okay. We're doing great in district, so can't ask for much more, really.
Well, district is what sets you up to go through district tournament. And honestly, the district slate is what kind of determines not only where you are in the district, but what sides of brackets you can be on. And so, you want to be playing better ball now than you were in December, and better ball in January than you do in February, right?
Right. Yep. That's right. Yeah. We lost to Lebanon at home, a district opponent, Lebanon at home, but I still, and the girls still feel very confident. There's no reason why we cannot still finish district on top. So we'll face Smyrna next week in Cookeville at home, and that'll give us a real understanding of what we got to do to win the district. But we feel good about where we are right now.
Does you haven't played Cookeville yet? That'll be your first time. Yeah.
Yep. Friday will be our first Cookeville matchup.
A little bigger league than District 8, although all of that's going to change next year, which is just absolutely crazy.
Right.
But so you still got Smyrna and Cookeville. Cookeville right now is
undefeated.
Undefeated in the league. Yeah.
They just beat Lebanon last night by, I think, 6 points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me that you guys are right there in that mix of that. I mean, like that top 3.
Yeah.
Your district champion will probably be one of those 3.
I would assume so. Yeah. I think it's going to be a fight for that those top 3 teams in the district between Cookeville, Lebanon, and us. Yeah.
Yeah. And, just looking at scores and things of that nature, the Smyrna and Laverne scores, I mean, they're getting closer, beating the Wilson Centrals and, are close games and stuff. So, I mean, I think the league is stronger top to bottom this year.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Laverne last night. Coach has got them playing extremely hard, and Smyrna as well. Smyrna, there's no let up in Smyrna or Laverne, and if you're not careful, and if you're not on your A game and ready to play, they'll get you. So, yeah.
Well, talk to me about I could throw out names, and, Camden Ward's going to be one, and you're just going to keep going on and on. But maybe talk to me a little bit about who you feel is playing well for you, who's made some great strides here in the last month.
We got to shout out Riley Steen. Riley Steen comes off our bench. Last couple games, she's been actually the first one off the bench. In the last game, she came in and made a few mistakes, and I was a little concerned about how she was going to recover from that. But she followed up with a really good practice, and then last night, against Laverne, she was the first one off the bench, and she went 4 for 5 from 3. She hit 3 straight threes in the first half. Pretty much as soon as she got in the game, she started lighting it up.
You look like a genius putting her in there, right?
Yeah. There's no genius to it. When you shoot the ball that well in practice, it's just a matter of will it translate into games, and it does for Riley. So that's incredible. So it's another little trick up our sleeve, when we need a 3-ball or we got a team that's trying to sag off of us in the zone to be concerned with our bigs, to have a girl like Riley Steen come in and light it up is huge for us.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, if you've got a great inside game, what's the opponent going to do if you can't hit from outside? They're going to pack it in and make it tough to get it in there,
and
right?
We've seen that multiple times this year, and that's something that, we kind of, as a coach, I was concerned with earlier in the year, but now, and it's not just Riley. Amira hit 2 threes off the bench. Layla has worked incredibly hard on her shot, and she's knocking down threes. And then not only that, by percentage, our 2 bigs, percentage-wise, are our 2 best shooters. So, we're tough to guard. When we played correctly, there's not a lot you can do defensively against us to stop us from scoring.
The outside game maybe was a struggle at the beginning of the season, but that's been coming around. It's been getting more consistent, I guess maybe is the word.
You could say that, for sure, yeah. And Izzy needs to be mentioned as well. Izzy hit 2 threes, pull up off the dribble, which is a unique skill to be able to pull up for 3 off the dribble, and she's probably best at doing that. So, yeah, if we're consistent from three-point land, and we force girls to come out and have to guard the three-point line, and then it just opens it up for Jada and Cam, who are, as a duo up there. They're up there in Tennessee.
Yeah. Gotta be. We're talking Stewart's Creek Red Hawk girls basketball this morning. Sloan Starkey is with us today. You mentioned practice, and that's something that the casual fan that comes out. I mean, I'm sure the parents know, but they don't see it either. They don't see the practice, the work that these. But they may know that they leave at 6 a.m. to go and whatever. Yeah. So, kind of talk about practice ethic, because it's critically important and how that translates into winning games.
Yeah. Well, for us, we got to shout out the boys coach, Coach Jones. He's been very generous in allowing us to practice against the JV boys. And so, as a coach that's new to the girls program, practicing against boys isn't necessarily something new to me, but the frequency is something that I didn't realize. And so we practice against the boys almost every day. Yeah. So to be able to have our JV boys in practice and them to create the pressure and create the intensity that translates into games is really important. Now I'll also say, as coaches, to get the girls to play in practice in a way that replicates games is something that, as a coach, you got to get good at, and something I got to improve on all the time. We just can't in practice pick and choose when we're going to go hard and when we're not. We got to go hard every single day. So if we can get that out of them in practice, we're just that much better.
Yeah. That has to obviously help with also the speed of the game, because the really elite girls teams, the speed is what separates, I think, just the speed of the game and how it develops, and quick reactions to passes and situations. Would you say that? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that's definitely something that, again, using the boys, those passes that we tend to make are not successful against boys, and that's something that really translates into the games. Whereas if we're just going through offense and we're running against our second group, we can make any pass we want, and it's pretty much going to be successful. But against, like you said, elite teams, that pass doesn't work. So yeah, that's a good part of the game that needs to translate, and bringing those boys in is what helps for sure.
Especially when you're playing the Cookvilles and Lebanons. And,
Cookville and Lebanon are, just like you're saying, one of those elite teams that rotate really fast. They do a good job of putting pressure up on you, and if you throw a bad pass against them, it's going the other way.
Yeah. Well, by next week you'll be through the midway part of the regular season. It's hard to believe, by Valentine's Day that's the end of the regular season.
Our first interview, first
time for the two of us. Yeah. The schedule kind of got all wanky, and but it's always, with three of us, and we try to rotate through. That way you're not seeing the same face and the same questions all the time.
Right.
And but seeing your girls earlier, I thought, man, you really have some solid pieces, and they've got the headroom is high. I mean, they have room to grow, and that's kind of why I was asking you the questions that I did, because seeing that happen throughout the season, that's where you want to be. You don't want things to go the opposite way.
True. Yeah, we're definitely trending for sure. And again, just Riley has proven herself earlier in the season, but now being in district play, I don't think she expected to come off the bench as quick as she did, and for her to not hesitate at all and come in the game and immediately start dropping threes out of the sky is, again, huge for us. So yeah, we're going in the right direction for sure.
And as we continue moving toward the postseason, what are a couple of things that you're going to kind of focus on, areas that you think we can get better to make us a good tournament team?
Man, I don't want to give it all away now.
Let me rephrase. Defensively, are there some things that you're going to be working on? Because I know you don't want to just throw everything out there.
Right.
But the defense is such an important part of the basketball game that doesn't get a lot of, it's not in the box score, a lot of times.
Yeah, no, just having a better understanding of our opponent and how to defend them is really crucial. For example, like I got to use Blackman as an example. Lyric lit us up for 32 points, and that's unacceptable. We cannot allow that to happen. And I don't think I put more emphasis on one player in a scouting report than I did on Lyric and at Blackman. And to still not guard her correctly and give up 32 points is just something that you got to get better at. You know what I mean? So as we go through second half of district and then start focusing on district tournament and region play, it's our responsibilities as coaches, and then to understand how to guard everybody, and then be able to translate that into terms that players understand, and so that they can apply it correctly in the game. So I think that's kind of where if you're going to get better and you're going to be ready for district play in the district tournament, that's kind of where you got to focus. But then also, something that we're learning as a team is just at what tempo, at what pace we can play at. And the last couple of games, I think we found a little bit of a sweet spot, whereas in the past, as a coach, I've been wanting to play much faster. But when we got a duo of bigs like we do, you got to find the right tempo to that.
Yeah.
And so I think we're finding that right now.
Well, Tuesday at Smyrna, it's the battle for the city and pride and all that goes with it.
Yeah.
Biggest rival.
Queens of Smyrna.
There you go. And then at home versus Cookeville, and it's always important to protect the home court.
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, appreciate you coming in this morning. Always good to catch up, and good luck. We've got a big couple of weeks, and we'll see you back here, hopefully talking about the Lady Redhawks being there and on top, or whatever's going on. We'll talk about it. All right.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you then.
Thank you guys for doing this.
Absolutely. That is Stewart's Creek head coach Sloan Starkey on the Coach's Show, brought to you by Dr. Automotive, the cure for your car. Professional auto repair and maintenance from ASE certified mechanics and master mechanics. Online at autorepairsmyrna.com.
Is your car running like a dream, or does it need a little TLC? At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we treat your vehicle like it's one of our own. Let's hear what some customers have to say about Dr. Automotive.
Been coming to them ever since he opened up. Good family. I recommend to other people to get them repaired here because I knew they would do it and do it right. Been happy to send people to him because I trust what he does so much.
We're crazy about him. It's all about the doctor.
For quality care you can trust, visit Dr. Automotive in Smyrna. We've got the cure for your car.
At Little Caesars, get a large custom 2-topping pizza for only $7.99 when you order online. Wait, did I just say $7.99? Get out of here! This pizza is only $7.99. No way! This is $7.99? You're joshing me. You're saying this pizza perfection is only $7.99? Well, you're crazy for this. Listen, pirate, stop taking my $7.99 pizza. Choose a large custom 2-topping pizza for the unbelievable price of $7.99 when you order online. Only $7.99. What?
Pizza. Parks Auction. We handle everything.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, or whether you're buying or selling commercial property, the auction is just so much easier, quicker, smoother.
My wife and I sold our personal home. Parks Auctions helped us with that. The house brought about 20% more than we were going to ask for.
Visit our website at parksauction.com. To learn more,
Hey there, 12 and a half now, $15.
Stan Vaught and the Parks Auction team are proud supporters of local high school and MTSU sports.
30, sold it to you.
You've heard people say, you know your work by your name, but there's no better name for residential and business concrete work than Dan France Concrete. From basic slabs to decorative stamping, for your next concrete project, call Dan France Concrete, 615-642-5152.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Trust me, Dan is committed to the community and will offer you a great product. He'll stand behind his work and make sure you're satisfied with every aspect of the work. Dan France Concrete.
Did you know that participating in Murfreesboro Special Census could help bring more funding to our city? This is Mayor Shane McFarland. An accurate population count means more shared state revenue for things like road repairs, park improvements, and new sidewalks. It's quick and easy. Visit murfreesborocensus.com or look for a letter from the city with a prepaid return envelope.
Count me in.
Okay, count me in.
And count me in too.
Help Murfreesboro get its fair share. Visit murfreesborocensus.com, complete the special census today, and you could qualify for a $100 gift card.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
The Blue Raiders fan source for officially licensed Middle Tennessee gear is Raider Tees, located at 910 Ridgely Road, behind Chewy's, just off Broad Street.
Time to get out in the cold in style with officially licensed Middle Tennessee stocking caps, coats, jackets, sweats, scarves, and more. If it's blue and white with the Middle Tennessee logo, you can bet the best selection in town is at Raider Tees.
Raider Tees by Ideas Tees, 910 Ridgely Road, off Broad between Chewy's and Chili's.
Pizza.
You can now order Murfreesboro's favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com. We've made ordering online a breeze. From sirpizzatn.com, tap on the location nearest you and begin your order for carryout or delivery. You can order the Royal Feast, create your own, spaghetti, calzones, everything right from our online portal at sirpizzatn.com.
Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive offers complete tax preparation, financial, and bookkeeping services.
This is Brandon Craig with Craig's Tax Service. We're proud to support all Rutherford County athletes.
Craig's Tax Service reminds you that it makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We've been serving Rutherford County since 1988.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
We're just off Memorial Boulevard at 142 Heritage Park Drive.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
Back on the Coach's Show, brought to you by Rick Hall with Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna. Give Rick a call for auto, home, business, and life insurance needs. Find out more online at rayburn.net. Time to talk some Rockvale girls basketball, and we have a couple of their assistant coaches here with us this morning. Thankfully, I don't have to look at Perry Lyons today, but I'm kidding. Perry's doing some important things we're going to talk about. Jalen Donaldson is here, and Jasmine Smith, and good to have you both with us.
Thank you for having us.
Jalen, Coach Lyons, his daughter is playing middle school. It's county tournament, I guess, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So good luck there. I guess that's going on right now?
It is, yes, sir.
Where are they playing that? You know? I have no idea.
Sure.
I understand. Jasmine, you are brand new to the coaching staff. Are you brand new coaching? Have you coached before?
Yes, I've coached before. I did some time in college with my graduate studies at Clayton State, so
Awesome.
NCAA compliance and women's basketball, and then I also assistant coached at Cumberland University for some time.
Well, very
Took
good.
a little break, but I'm back into basketball now, so I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Once it's in your blood, it's hard to get it out, isn't it?
It is. Yes, sir.
So you were kind of telling me you've were from the area, and then when you told me your last name before your maiden name, I guess, kind of remembered you early.
I'm glad to be back.
Tell me a little bit about your experience, and I know this is your second. Tell me a little bit about your experience, and I know this is your second year on staff, and second year, 2 coaches, all that kind of thing. First year,
Yeah,
first year.
yes, sir.
Okay, and Jasmine, what about you?
Well, I'm Jasmine Smith. This is my second year at Rockvale High School. I've been on the staff for 2 years. I've enjoyed it, the talent. I've enjoyed working with Coach Lyons. I think he's a phenomenal coach. I think he's really prepared these ladies for not only just basketball now, but basketball if they want to go to college, if they get in the workforce, wherever they want to go. I think he's instilled some great principles with them, accountability for themselves, accountability to be on time, accountability to adapt and adjust to whatever may come with him. And I think he's done a phenomenal job at doing that and preparing them.
If you can find out what a passion is for a young person, obviously if you're a girls basketball coach, that passion would be playing girls basketball. You still teach life lessons, and that's the most important thing that you carry on with you into your adult life.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you play high school ball, college?
Yes, I actually did. I played at Wilson Central High School. My formal maiden name is Jasmine Hassel.
Okay, thanks. If you give me maiden names, I'm good to go.
Yes, sir. So I played there, and then I went on and played at the University of Georgia, where we won 2 we went to the NCAA Sweet 16, went to the Elite 8, and then I did some professional basketball, played in WNBA, got drafted. Then I went overseas and played as well.
Yeah, you did all of that. As soon as you said Hassel, So what years were you at Wilson Central?
2005 to 2009.
I would not have guessed that it was that long ago.
It's been a long time.
I told you I've done this for like 30 years, and it's just amazing to me how when you say 2005, it's my daughter was 3 years old at the time, and she's getting married here. So time just it does go by fast. But you
Especially
played.
when you're having fun.
Yeah, you played for Bud, I guess.
I did.
Yeah, and that was
Bud and Campbell.
Yeah,
can't leave out the day.
Yeah,
they were
true.
a dynamic duo.
Dynamic duo. That is for sure. When he was at Smyrna, we were doing a broadcast, and it was at Stewart's Creek, and we were by the visiting bench, and so Campbell was like right as close as you are. That was an interest. I had to move the crowd microphone, and you probably know what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
But it's good to have you both here. Lady Rockets kind of took one on the chin last night, but Blackman is one of those teams that hard to defend, and freshman Hall was pretty dynamic last night, and kind of walk through because the score really doesn't indicate the closeness of that game.
Very true.
Right. I think Coach Lyons did a great job preparing the girls for the Blackman game. We knew it was a game that we're going to have a great crowd. The energy was there. We've tried to prepare them, and they bought into it. I think we just had a few shortcomings. We got into foul trouble kind of early, and so I think that may have turned the game around just a little bit. We did have 2 of our starters out early in the late in the second and early in the third, and so our girls are well prepared to play under pressure. And our bread and butter is our defense and also our transition offense. So last night we just were trying to execute, trying to get that communication going, and we had a few shortcomings, but we're well prepared and ready to play on Monday.
Well, you mentioned the foul situation, and I was honestly floored that not more than one person fouled out last night. It's the way things were going. I mean, this may be wrong, but I think 3 of the 4 or all 4 quarters, Blackman was in the bonus. That's just how physical that game was last night. Yeah. And girls giving up their bodies. We had really on both sides several timeouts for injuries and bloody noses. That's the kind of ball Bud Brandon plays, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel like, the girls have to really stretch, drink, hydrate. They're teenage girls, know, and Coach Lyons has done a great job trying to prepare them. Make sure you understand what you're putting in your body. Make sure you're stretching and getting all those things and going to treatment and do what you do. And Coach Lyons really encourages that with the girls. Again, they're high schools. So sometimes they feel good, and then when they're giving 110% effort, it sneaks up on them. Yeah. And then it's like, bam, I'm here. But it's also, about recovery as well.
Yeah, well, that's what you use days like today for, and sit back, relax, and watch some film, I'm sure. All of that's so much easier than it ever had, even probably easier since you played. I mean, it's just you send clips to the phones, right?
Yes, sir.
Are the two of you help break down some of the film?
We do.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Do a little video editing then, don't you?
We watch a lot of film with the girls, try to break some stuff down. So slowly building that IQ, getting them that experience in just to prepare them from college.
Yeah. Does it help you to relate to the girls maybe a little more that you have spent some time on the playing floor, you've gone to the next level, which is probably every high school athlete's dream, what they want to do. You've even, played on the professional level. So does it, building those bonds with the girls, maybe both of you talk a little bit about that.
I think it's been great. Like I said, Rutherford County, big on girls basketball, big on women's basketball. And so I think the support from the parents has been great. Crowds are always great. But I think for myself, being here, growing up here, seeing the changes in the game, one thing I'll say that has not changed is the passion. There's always been passion for girls basketball here. You're going to get the best of the best here.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I think brings us together as playing here in the Middle Tennessee area and now coaching in the Middle Tennessee area is that passion. And then also being with the girls and the players every day. They come to us, they talk to us about anything that they need to. And so I think that they understand that this is their home away from home. They're with us sometimes more than they're with their own family.
Yeah.
And so we try to harp a lot on keeping things positive, being able to open up, talking about your mental, your physical health, all those things, and try to keep them in high spirits. So definitely glad to be a part of their lives, and I can't wait to see what they do when they get older.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you're raising kids from high school on. You don't have to have all the diaper changing and stuff, but just to do life, and that's important. And you mentioned the mental health part of it. Jasmine, anything else that you would add to that?
I think Coach Donaldson did a phenomenal job just summarizing it all. One thing I would like to add is, God gave us all these experiences.
Yeah.
And our due diligence as servants of God is to pour into other people. And I think that's one thing I think as coaches, we try to do that. To whom much is given, as much is required. So as far as mentoring the girls, I think that's a part of us. I mean, God didn't let us experience that to keep it to ourselves. And I think as coaches, as women coaches, I think we do a phenomenal job. Just let them know, hey, it's possible, but you do have to work for it. You do have to have that passion. You do have to continue to grind, get in the gym, be able to listen to your coach. And I think God has placed Coach Lyons in that position to really, he's a high-level high school coach that knows the game and knows what it takes to be what they want to do beyond that.
Yeah,
so I appreciate that.
We're going to have to get you a pulpit and preach, right? We've got Jalen Donaldson here, Jasmine Smith, talking Rockvale girls basketball this morning. Two of the fine assistants helping out Coach Perry Lyons. And Perry is nothing but energy, though, right? Would you say?
Yes.
All energy, all passion,
yes.
100% grind.
He loves it.
And it's trickled down on the girls. And so even from June and team camp, we hit the road and we hit it hard. And that's every day in practice. They know to come in, ready to grind. Ready to get better, make each other better as a team. And so I think now we've been harping on them as a coaching staff, letting them know whatever you put in is what you're going to get out of the game. And I think now that we've turned that corner from Christmas break, they're starting to see that coming to fruition. So it's been very rewarding for the girls. We're very happy as a coaching staff as well with the effort and the energy that our team has continued to provide night after night.
Jasmine, we've had a chance to do several Rockvale games here in a row. We were this whole week. And you all both as well. I mean, that energy is contagious, and if it comes out onto the floor, I think it's especially important on the defensive side to have that energy. Would you say that's right?
Oh, yes. Defense, you have to have a lot of energy. It's hard work. Defense, you have to dig in. You gotta want to do it. You gotta say, hey, like he says, ain't nobody coming in my house, and if you're gonna do it, I'm gonna make it hard on you. I'm a dog on defense. And he does preach that often. And again, like, I'm getting excited now. I think his coaching passion has really, really, not only for the girls, but us as a coaching staff, like, every day we're trying to get these girls better, and every day the girls are buying in, and the energy, he always talked about energy. I think that's very important, and I'm over here just hype because that's what he preaches, and I think it's really just trickled down to everybody that he encounters.
Well, right now, sitting in second in the district, and you've about to go back through the district play, and you've got to keep up that same intensity, because when you play a team for a second time, they've played you once, they know what you like to do. You got to put in some wrinkles and all that stuff. So it's going to be an exciting second trip around the district, and be district tournament time before we know it. So appreciate you both coming in this morning.
Appreciate for having us.
Yeah, it
Thank
was
you.
really good catching up. Jalen Donaldson joining us, and Jasmine Smith here on the Coaches Show from Rockvale High School. And this portion of the show has been brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin, who'll work with you to develop a complete, tailored strategy to help you achieve your financial goals. That's Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin.
Stickers, labels, we do a lot of direct mail, booklets, manuals, programs. My name is Jeff Carlton. I handle sales and marketing for Franklin's Printworks here at Murfreesboro. We are at 2227 South Park Drive. Franklin's Printworks has been in Murfreesboro for over 25 years. We are a full-service commercial printer. We offer everything from business cards to brochures, booklets to banners, everything in between. Our website is franklinsprinting.org.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And welcome back to the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner. Brian Weekly is our guest today.
Yes, sir.
Head coach of the Siegel Stars, the Lady Stars. And this portion of the show is brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric, serving our community by providing affordable, reliable, and safe electricity online at mte.com. Brian, it's good to talk to you this morning. And I know we were out at your place the other night. Score, not what you wanted, of course, but I'm going to throw some positives out there that I saw, and particularly the one thing that I noticed you had, and tell me if I'm wrong, but you had the plan to get the ball inside, and they were doing it. I mean, each and every time they could possibly do it, they were trying to do that. That kind of makes you. Did that make you kind of feel good that they're following it and trying to execute it?
Yeah, they the girls have bought in to getting the basketball inside as much as possible right now. I've been I talk about that all the time. We need to get the basketball inside to Neela and Jordan and Kyla more often. And for me, it's get them an opportunity to score around the basket, but also collapse the defense and let's see if we can't. Have kickouts and, see if, I can't get my girls some open looks, to be able to see the basket and get some shots up. So, getting the basketball inside is definitely our MO right now. Neela's got pretty good footwork around the rim. The thing now with the post players, now that we're finally getting the basketball in more often, the thing for me is just, getting, having them finish around the rim.
And Neela is a young one. I mean, she's a sophomore, I believe? Junior.
Yeah.
So you're going to have her back for next year. And she seems to kind of caught the game. Now, I know there's things, that she needs to work on, but I mean, she's kind of caught the grasp of the game and kind of knows what you want.
Right.
And she tries to execute it. And for the most part, she did. The shot didn't fall.
Right. Yeah. That was, the first, I believe the first possession of the game, Neela caught the ball in the short corner and drove, to the basket and, finished on the right side. She made a really good move right there, finishing through contact. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we were up 2-0 at that point, but she did a good job on that. And, that's the stuff that we're trying to, get them to be able to do is just finish through contact, her and Jordan for sure. Kyla Dowdy as well, who's a junior. So, getting the basketball to them as much as possible is, kind of our MO right now.
You got a spunky little player at the point, Kylie Evans, a Wilson girl. I have to always throw that Wilson plug in there. But not only she's a great softball player.
Right.
But I remember in the 5th grade playing kickball, and she's the most competitive kid I've ever seen. And I mean, she wants to win, and she doesn't mind telling you that she wants to win.
Right. Yeah, she's ultra competitor for sure. She showed up for tryouts, and I didn't actually think she was coming to tryouts, but she showed up for tryouts, and she could handle the basketball going up the floor. She made some decent moves to get to the rim and score, and she played great on-ball defense in tryouts, and just had a big-time motor. And I was at that point I was like, man, I have to have her. I got to have her on the floor at some point. For me, it's kind of funny because her freshman year and her freshman and sophomore year both. Coaching softball at Rockvale, I got to coach against her, in JV, and she played a little bit in varsity a sophomore year. So, I got to coach against Kylie from a softball standpoint. So I kind of knew about her coming in. So, when she showed up to tryouts, it was great to have her, and she's fantastic leadership inside my locker room. Teaching the younger girls and just showing what work ethic is.
And you have accomplished that, I think. I mean, their work ethic is better than, and the way they want to do well for you. It's and a lot of people can't win that over. That's probably the hardest thing. The mental part of it is saying, "Hey, I want to play for this guy," and it seems to be working. I mean, really.
Yeah, and it's a process for sure. I'm tough on them, and the thing for me is staying consistent and just continuously coaching them. And so in practice, I don't stop. I'm constantly teaching them things and working on it. And I teach next play mentality pretty much every day. And that's the thing that I feel like we've gotten a lot better at. But that's one thing that I harp on all the time is like don't stop. Don't give up on things. Just continue to play hard, continue to get better. We're a super young team, so at the end of the day, for me, the girls are getting valuable minutes right now for the future.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to take a licking. I mean, and for that education to come about. Aubrey Carroll, another one that played last year, and she's probably played more minutes than anybody from last year.
Yes.
And she's steady. And talk about her a little bit, and then we'll go around. I've got a couple more I want to ask you about.
Aubrey, for me, she got a high IQ. She's going to do the right thing for the most part. I don't have to worry about her turning the ball over as much. She has turned it over a little bit more lately, but for the most part, I can trust her that she's gonna make a good pass. And things like that. For her right now is it's confidence. Just continuously harping on that for her. We've been talking to her to shoot the basketball a little bit more. She's kind of timid at that. She don't realize she's open until after the fact. For her, that's just, she's going to be a great leader for me over the next couple of years.
And that's kind of what you're building, have somebody that played as a freshman, now sophomore, and kind of build that up. Jordan Johnson, another one. I know you went and got her basically, and a really good volleyball player, but never played a lot of basketball she played in middle school, but nothing in high school.
Yeah, so Jordan, she's the biggest competitor I have by far. She's my vocal leader right now. That's the one thing that I've loved about having Jordan on the team is that she's teaching the younger ones what it means to be to communicate and be loud. And for her, she's an aggressor, so I've loved having her for that that point of view. And she does a good job of getting her hands in the passing lanes and things like that. And she's gonna foul you hard, but that's the stuff that I do enjoy having Jordan for is,
she seems to want to, like when she doesn't score or she gets a shot off, it seems to frustrate her. I mean, she's really wanting to do well.
Yeah.
And she made a steal the other night, which was an incredible steal. I didn't know she had that kind of speed and missed the layup, but then again, that effort was there.
Yeah, the effort was there, and next play mentality was there for her too. You know, she missed the layup, but definitely got back on defense and things like that. So Jordan has just been a great senior for me to have. I wish that girl would have played all 4 years, because I feel like she could have been a lot better if she would have stuck with it and played throughout high school.
Brian, there's probably how many stories of people like that picked one sport and probably could have excelled in another, or excelled in many sports, which is I guess a knock for, hey, let's play as many sports as you can. Tell us about who you've got this week. I know Blackman's one of them, and they're always tough, super talented, quick.
Yeah, Blackman for us is just about us getting better, being able to handle the basketball better. Be strong with the ball, make good passes. Everybody's pressing us, so we worked on press break quite a bit lately, and just showing that we are gradually getting better at it. And the other night versus Rockvale, we did a good job of breaking the press. The next thing is what do we do now once we've gotten past that part? Being able to attack, working on 3-on-2, 2-on-1 type stuff in practice. So Blackman, that's just about us working on things that we need to work on to get better. Riverdale on Friday, homecoming. It'll be a good game for us to try to chip away at. I felt like we played better once we settled in versus Riverdale. The first quarter we didn't play so well. I felt like once we settled in, we played a lot better against them.
Good starts are important, aren't they? I mean, and that's where I think you guys struggle a little bit. Overwhelmed maybe a little bit at times.
And that's where I think the press part comes from.
Yeah.
Everybody's pressing us right out the gate. So, that's why we worked on it so much. And, I felt like we did a better job of it. And I'm hoping that, that transfers over, into the Riverdale game on Friday too.
All right, Brian, good luck to you next week. And we'll talk to you soon. We got the district tournament coming up. So it ain't over. It's the next round, isn't it, after the regular season, isn't it?
Definitely.
That's Brian Weekly, the head coach of the Siegel Lady Stars, and this portion of the show brought to you by First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. If you're looking for a hometown feel with your bank, turn to the First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, offering full-service banking and mortgage services. When we come back, we'll be talking to Chris Lynch of the Eagleville Eagles.
Winners Trophies can help you with customized awards for any occasion. Owner Kelly Hockenberry continues to provide awards for sports teams, churches, recognition awards, and more. Call Winners Trophies at 904-6002. That's 904-6002 for the best in quality, service, and pricing. You can also email Kelly, winnerstrophy@comcast.net. That's winnerstrophy@comcast.net. Any award for any occasion. Winners Trophies, 904-6002.
The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And this portion of the Coaches Show is brought to you by the Murfreesboro Special Census. Counting everyone means more state dollars to improve roads, parks, and services. Fill out the fast, easy, and secure forms at murfreesborocensus.com. And joining me, it's time for some Eagleville basketball. And I got the pleasure of being there last night. And boy, the crowd was huge. And they got to see two really good ball games last night, Chris.
Yeah, we have been on a losing streak and have played some really good teams. And not that Fayette was not, because they're a very good opponent. They just played Moore County and Wayne County to 10 points and 9 points. And those two teams are rated in the top 5. So I knew they were going to come in, and they're very athletic, have some good shooters. They're very hard to guard. You try to play the drive, and, then they can also kick it out, and they hit a lot of threes. So it was good to get out of there with a win.
Chris Lynch is our guest, head coach of the Eagleville Eagles. And Chris, I don't know, they had one girl that could pop threes from just about anywhere. I mean, long-range threes that kind of kept them in it and really hit some big baskets when they needed it.
Yeah, every time I felt like we pulled it out, they came back and I felt like we were defending them pretty well. And then, we'd be out on them, and they'd drive in, get a layup, or they would drive in and, like you said, kick it out. And they had several girls that, had several threes. So, they kept getting the game close. I thought we had a chance to pull it away at the end of the third, and I think we were up 14, and they went on about probably 8-0 run in about 30 seconds. So then we had to build it back up, and, just finally hit our free throws down the stretch to pull it out by 6.
Okay, I'm going to talk about this has been a wacky season for you. I don't know if you know. I mean, I don't know if you feel that way about it, but I've kind of lived every moment with you. I don't usually get an opportunity to do that, but injuries have been crazy. I mean, you lost Brindley Bain for several weeks, and you can't take somebody like that out of your lineup and not to have some side effects of that, correct?
Correct. She came in last night, and it's her first game back, and probably within her first 30 seconds hits a 3. And we've been struggling a little bit from outside. So to get somebody like Brindley back, who was averaging almost 20 points a game when she left, and she had 20 last night and limited minutes. So, it's nice to have something like that, to get back. And also, while she was out, I felt like hopefully we built some depth around on some girls that had to step up. And, I think they were all excited to have her back, too. And, like you mentioned, injuries. I really think that in the last at least 10 years, I have more injuries in this 1 year than all 10 put together. We've been, really fortunate not to have a bunch of injuries, but they have swarmed us really bad this year. I know one's really close to you, and it's just, and like with Allie Gray, she was playing really well and starting to, she played all 4 quarters at Huntland, and then, it's just like a little freak injury. She jump stopped and kind of hyperextended her leg, and tore some meniscus, so she's out for multiple months, and it's just been that way up and down the roster. And I saw Ashton Walker back last night. She just came back from ACL surgery. We've just been plagued really bad, so hopefully we, withstood the storm and hopefully trending back in a positive direction, hopefully.
Chris, when you take, and going back to Brindley, that affects everybody because you're taking 20 points probably. On an average, I would say 15 to 20 points a game out of your lineup each and every night. And Mia had to pick her game up, and I think sometimes it can be a detriment to her game a little bit because she's an assist king. I mean, she can pass the ball all over the place and dishing out when she's a good penetrator, and when she dishes out, not having that sure thing out there in Brindley. And, of course, Bailey has picked it up a lot for you. But your girls never quit during all of that. I mean, they've managed to stay the course, and I think it's going to pay off for them here down the stretch.
Yeah, like you said, Mia likes to penetrate and pitch. And, when Brindley was gone, there were several games Mia scored over 20 and pretty much just, decided she was going to be the scorer. And I like her in that role also. Mm-hmm. And then, last night there was one pivotal moment where Mia drove in and they had to decide whether to stick on Brindley or go get Bailey. They left Bailey, and Mia made the right read and hit Bailey, and she hit the 3. So I think it's almost like, you have your big brother around, and, you may feel pretty good. And it's almost, I feel like that way with Bailey, like, when she had to shoulder the whole load, it was a little hard. But now it's almost like, well, Brindley's back, so now I can come down. I don't have to do it all. I can just sit over here and kind of do my thing. And, I just feel like her coming back really helped Bailey too.
I think it makes the whole team relax too, doesn't it? I mean, I would have to think a little bit of that pressure of, okay, now I've got to be a scorer. I just think it makes better for the whole team, unity wise anyway, of knowing that it's not all you have to do in it.
And I think really too, like last night we had 4 girls in double figures, so it's not like other girls aren't scoring.
Right.
I just feel like the pressure of, hey, you have to go out and do this is a lot less. And, point guard Jules Weiss had a great game. She defended really well. she had a very tough matchup. That girl was very, very quick and got to the rim. She attempted to take several charges, but we got one of them. She took a really hard hit one time. She's just a tough player, so
I thought
three and knocked down some free throws, hit a layup. So she played a really good game. She boxed out well and rebounded. So I was really proud of her last night too.
They really shut her down in the second half, particularly. I thought, and of course the girl from outside was. She hit some shots. I wouldn't have bet money on them hitting them, but she did. But a big win, and we move on now, moving forward. That was a huge win. Kind of get your mojo back a little bit and confidence, and getting down this stretch. That's going to be really, really important in these next 4 or 5 games.
It is. We have a couple of non-district games coming up, and in Rockvale Monday night. That'll be a tough game. They've been playing really well. And, and then we go to Moore County next week, which is a really tough matchup. And then we sprinkle in Cascade in there as a non-district, and then we finish up with Huntland and Fayetteville. Huntland at home, Fayetteville on the road. So some really tough matchups coming down the stretch. But I feel like all season our schedule's been tough. Our circumstances have been tough. So I really, feel like hopefully we battle through it and ready to, turn the page in the postseason here before long.
Chris, you've always been really good down the stretch. I think in all the years that we've covered you, you all seem to put it together toward the end. I know that magical run to the state tournament was unbelievable that year, and and I'm not predicting any state tournaments, but I could see you going down the stretch and being a tough out here, like even in region play. And do you feel that way? Because I really feel like that game last night was an indicator of what you're capable of doing with everybody healthy.
Yeah, well, it's just you try to start playing good at the right time of the year, and whether I don't know, maybe are underperforming during the season or, whatever you call it. But whatever, when it comes down to tournament time, it's just tough. And everybody knows you really well. And, everybody really good. So it's kind of nice almost to play a team like Rockvale or Cascade where, they know us, but they don't know us like a district opponent does.
Mm-hmm.
And so those games are kind of fun, and especially late in the season. And, Rockvale will be a really tough matchup for us because they're big, they're athletic, they're deep. And everybody dubs the game as the Battle of 99. So it's got a little hype to it, and we'd like to see a lot of people out because it's a good environment for us.
With the upcoming schedule, I know you go. A lot of times people go, well, do we need to play somebody outside the district and that kind of thing? But it challenges them, though, doesn't it? I mean, that's anytime you can play somebody that's really good, it can't hurt. I mean, it's really good for the girls to see that.
Well, if you take our non-district opponents, which we had to play outside the district because we only have a limited number of teams in our district this year. It's been kind of weird, but, when you can step out of your district, we played a lot of really good teams outside our district this year, and our non-conference schedule has been brutal. But, hopefully that's, we've seen a lot of different things thrown at us. We've seen full court presses. We've seen traps. We've seen man. We've seen boxing ones. We've seen, all kinds of things. So I think that only helps you go down the stretch. And I know we probably could have scheduled some, a bunch of games that would have been much easier, but I don't know that if you get the preparation you need for down the stretch, it's easy to talk about, hey, this team's going to come out and 1-3-1 half court trap you. And we can talk about it. We can maybe practice it and simulate it, but you can't do it like that team does. So seeing those things live, I feel like are really beneficial.
Absolutely. We're going to have a big crowd, I know, tomorrow, Monday night with Rockvale, and the people pour into that place. I've had an opportunity, Chris, to really see for the first time like a whole season with you guys, and I mean, I've seen a few games off and on, but to actually see games and I guess I'm talking about myself here, and I shouldn't, but I'm going to tell you, it's almost like a big family out there. And I've been sitting in the same spot every game and getting to know these people, and it's just a wonderful experience. Whether you people need to come out there because it's a family experience, and they'll buy you a hamburger if you want them to. I mean, they're that kind of people.
Yeah, we have some good people out there that come to the games and support us, and I've been there a long time, and it's always been that way. So I've kind of gotten accustomed to it. And when you go to other places, you really appreciate what you have when you come back home. So speaking of people needing to come out, I hear WGNS is coming to do the game Monday night.
Well, I think we've had an MTSU snafu. I think the coaches show is their coaches show is going to limit us, but I'm going to be there and I'll give a report.
Okay, that'll work.
All right. Hey, appreciate you, Chris, and good luck on Monday and the rest of the way, and hope to talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you for coming.
All right, that's Chris Lynch, the head coach of the Eagleville Eagles. And this portion of the show is brought to you by the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org. Dr. Russell McKissick of Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance talks about the grassroots effort in our local schools to ensure proper care for players.
To make sure our teams are covered here locally, be there for our trainers. Yeah, it's a passion that we have to try to take care of our athletes here in town and be there just to keep everybody playing as healthy and as best they can.
From a community standpoint, one of the most important things you do at TOA, I'd guess.
I think it's definitely a way to pay back to our community, just to be there for them and watch some great sports too.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
We're going to be an educational institution that teach Bible every day. Every subject we teach, we're going to teach through a biblical perspective. In every aspect of our school, we're going to do it through a Christian perspective.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
That also means that everything we do, we have to be excellent. We feel like Christ calls us to excellence. And so that means we have to be excellent academically. That means we have to be excellent athletically, because that's what God calls us to. It's a great place to be.
Invest in your child's future in an environment that fosters Christ-centered values. To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
It's time to talk MTCS Sports. It's Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA, live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
We're joined by Middle Tennessee Christian School coaches to talk about their most recent games and their upcoming opponents. It's time to talk orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner.
And we welcome you to Cougar Corner. And today, John Dingens here talking to Hannah Jones, the head coach of the Lady Cougars. And Hannah, this has been okay. I'm gonna tell you something, a scenario before we go into questions. I've got a granddaughter that plays for Eagleville. She tore her meniscus the other day, and so she was starting to play a little bit and doing things you want a sophomore to do. Well, I think the prognosis, she'll be back in 5 months, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm feeling disappointment. But I can't imagine how you feel as a coach, because you don't want anybody hurt, but to have the same issue to two of your players, basically, maybe different injuries, but which really has kind of changed your season, or at least your outlook of it. And tell us a little bit about that, because I know you've had to make some moves that you wish you didn't have to make, but you've had to make them.
Yeah, we definitely have lost some key junior starters that bring a lot of offensive skill sets and just maturity, and depth and dynamic on the court. So that's definitely been from the beginning of season to the middle of season to kind of we're getting towards the end, leading into wrapping up regular season. I feel like we've changed our, I don't know, just personnel, looks, practice plans, trying to figure out the best way to maximize the girls that have been healthy and committed and maximizing their potential in just a short amount of time every single week, because you already have a short preseason. So
right.
Losing to injuries has been really, really tough. The girls have definitely gone, the girls that we have now, just have gone through so much adversity and learning just perseverance and positivity, taking care of yourself, and always just showing up every single day. You never know. It could be your last day to play, and you never know what's going to happen, so take advantage of it. And I think the girls that have just been resilient in spite of everything that's gone on with their teammates or their challenges and adversities, they've just done a really good job staying resilient and persevering.
I know a lot of people predicted you being really high up in the district and that kind of thing, and those goals haven't changed. I mean, they never change. That's still your goal, even with a group of younger, much younger players. So how did you cope with the injuries to both of those girls?
Well, obviously, this basketball, you're going to have stuff that happens. This is a part of being a student athlete. You run the risk of injury, or it's just a mental toughness game too. So I think just constantly how we approach our perspective and a lot of our team meetings and our film sessions and focusing on the positives, where we're trying to be efficient and just maximizing things in practice. Do we need to, with short numbers, are we really trying to get up and down and scrimmage against our practice squad guys, or are we trying to really just be more mental? So I think a lot of it has been stay positive, focus on what you can control, and growth mindset-wise, how are we getting better every single day through adversity, through challenges? These are so many life lessons at the end of the day. So we've really just focused on what can we do right here, right now, and stay committed and understanding that, yeah, we have goals. Nobody wants to lose. Everybody wants to win. That's the point of a competition. But at the end of the day, these girls are preparing for lifelong, just wherever they go next. If they're going to go play in college, if they're going to go somewhere else, they're going to be better for this at the end of the day. And it's hard to be in that now, to be in that valley. But there's always learning points, always growth points, just staying positive. So that's been a really, really big focus for us.
I know you brought up some eighth graders. Is that been a real adjustment? I would imagine these girls are pretty talented eighth graders to get this shot and in more ways than one, mentally, physically, that kind of thing. But I know there's a difference in an eighth grade person's body than to a senior's body. But mentally and that kind of thing, did you look at those kind of things, or and how has that worked so far?
Yeah, it was a tough decision. Kind of my philosophy on is it when I pull up an eighth grader, which I've almost done every single year at MTCS. It's been funny. Different reasons, I think. But if we're going to pull them up, are they going to contribute? They're not just pulling them up to sit. And that's not saying I can guarantee playing time ever, but they're going to come up and they're going to contribute. Whereas you're taking away from middle school, where they're probably going to get really, really valuable experience. But then, is it benefiting the player, their family, and our program? And we were in a position where I thought they could physically handle it. They would be able to help contribute wise and help our team in a positive way. And I think that it is very valuable to be with our middle school team. And I think our middle school team has really been great learning and growing and building, because that's what you want at a K through 12 school. It's helping build that pipeline into high school. So these two eighth graders, Campbell King and Catherine Wisnowski, have really, really stepped up in big ways. And I think that they've took it on the chin. I know, being an eighth grader in mindset, you could probably be scared, like you said, physicality wise, bigger, faster, stronger people in front of you, older, wiser, more mature. The speed of the game is different. They have just taken that in stride. They've been positive. I think they've enjoyed the challenge of that higher level. And so I'm very thankful for them, and their kind of just determination to be, we got this. Let's come up and help out. Let's do this. So that was a really great mindset that I was thankful for them for.
And you got to have a good relationship with the middle school coach as well. I mean, because that's affecting their program as well. But I think they understand that everybody's in this together, and you got to do what you got to do. And I would think that was the case here.
Yeah, it definitely was tough, and I think that overall our middle school numbers have grown from my first year at NCCS to now. So I think that's just a testament to how basketball is building and growing from within at MTCS. And so I'm just really, really excited about the future with them and leading into high school.
7-9 on the year, and Hannah, you got to be. I would think, I know you want to win every game, but under the circumstances, holding the boat, plugging the holes up, and keep them sinking, and you're doing a pretty good job.
I think our girls have definitely answered the call in many, many ways. Are they going to mess up? Yes, they're going to have issues every single day, and we're already low on numbers, and just with everything we have talked about, and I think that you still have your normal basketball season where you get sickness, you go through things, and we have just continued to ride that wave and handle it and just hold fast with each other and sticking together. And it's been a challenging and creative year, I think. And I think all of these girls, like Ashley Rucker has really stepped up in a lot of different ways, junior leader now. And I think I've just been proud of her heart and courageousness with handling different teammates. I mean, we have a senior who just came back from an ACL tear that she had this summer. And so I think that just constantly looking different of who you're playing with out on the court, but staying true to our values. And I've just been very, very proud of them.
We've got to do something about the ACL monster.
It is definitely a high risk, especially for female student athletes. I think our anytime you can do prehabilitative rehab and what you're doing, jump training is huge. And I think Jason's right. Shout out to him. He does an excellent job in our weight room, and we just got to make sure that, I'm with you. The ACL tears, and especially women's sports, is definitely high.
And it's not just MTCS. I mean, it's everywhere. I mean,
everywhere.
I see braces all over the place that people I know. One from Rockvale's got one, just came back, and middle
school to college, it's everywhere.
Yeah, and I don't know the answer to it. I just think you do the best you can, and with a little prayer as well, with it.
Yeah. I think there are things that our girls have done a really excellent job, like in the weight room. Like I said, we do strength and training. They're just to prevent that and understanding how to jump, land, move. There's ways to help, but it's tough.
Hannah Jones, our guest on Cougar Corner. And Hannah, one thing, and you and I, we're not bosom buddies or anything, but we are friends in terms of what we talk about here. But you seem like the kind of person that can handle adversity about as well as anybody could possibly. Do you see the silver lining to the negative, the injuries, and how that's going to help your program in the long run? Because like you've got 2 8th graders now playing, and that's not going to, if they're playing some, they're getting that experience. And then you've got a really good middle school team plus the juniors, and Shirley may be coming back, the other girls. I mean, I think if you look down the road, it's a nice thing to look at.
Definitely think experience is invaluable, and you can't speed that up. Experience is what you're going to get every single day, and I think that is definitely a big plus. I think the injuries, it's a mental challenge as well as it is physical for those girls. I know that, you just think you have this whole season ahead of you, and then in one moment, it doesn't even have to be this crazy contact. It's a non-contact, unknown kind of.
That's the crazy thing about it. Yeah.
Yeah, both of those season-ending injuries for our 2 starters right there, junior starters, were non-contact. And so that's it's like you could sit in it and you could say, like, why me? But neither of them have done that. They are pushing forward, and it's a testament to their heart and their integrity and grit to just be like, you know what? This is a setback, but I'm going to come back better for this. And I think that's, yes, they'll get stronger, and they'll now have like this work ethic that they have to stick with. They have a goal to reach again. which is just helping build habits that are going to carry them in the long run. So yes, we want to win, and yes, you want a state championship. You want all these things, and you want the accolades. But I always tell our girls in parent meetings that I value, and I kind of chart success for our girls. When they graduate and they leave a program, or if anytime I coach a young woman, are they able to stand on their own 2 feet? Can they voice for themselves? Are they bold enough in making decisions for themselves? And I think through injuries, through relationship issues, through sickness, through wins, through successes, I think these girls I'm so confident, and I think this is successful, and it's just how you measure success. They're going to be better for all of this. They're going to be very successful young women for everything they're going through.
And it's a test to people's, I guess, their spiritual nature, that there's more to life than basketball, and these things do happen. And those things are going to happen in life as well as they mature and get older.
Exactly. And that's a huge and a wonderful part of being at MTCS. And their faith is big. God is there for every moment, ups, downs, goods, bads. And I think that's just been, it's just another way for them to realize, they're not alone in this walk in life when it gets tough. They're not alone in the highs either. There's always, when you're uncomfortable, you're in pain, I think that just means that you're on the right track and God's right there with you.
We're rounding up the district tournament, the district regular season and tournament play. Your district is super tough. I know you're getting your girls ready, and each game, take one game at a time, but at the end of the year, you want to be playing your best basketball, right?
Yep, and we were, very good. I think our district is really, really tough. I think Webb is not the same Webb as my first 2 years here, but they're still very talented. They're very physical. They're very aggressive. And I think they've got the height, and I think you got PCA down the road too, who's got the height, even though they're young with no seniors. I think that they're clicking and moving with their height and their different weapons inside and out. And BGA has been very, very tough. Columbia Academy is rolling as well. I think that they're running a tight ship of just playing all out. And so that effort and energy across the board, it's going to be tough, and it's going to be a challenge. And I'm very, very excited for our girls to continue to be able to get that competition at our level. We'll prepare as best we can day by day.
I guess you have to worry just about your team, though. Don't worry about everything else. Just if you play well and you do the right things, good things are going to happen to you.
I think you can prepare, yes, and if you just stay in the details, some things are out of your control, and that's been a big thing. But attitude, effort, our girls, we just maintain that, and the good things will come.
One final thing, I guess, Hannah, before I let you go, we're going to take a break here. The Hale tournament, where are we with that? Is that over, or are they just beginning or in the middle? Because it lasts about a month, doesn't it? Do what now?
No, not over yet. The championship weekend is this February 1st weekend. So
okay.
We've got another week of games.
And there's 100 and some odd teams, something like that?
There's a lot of teams, and it's been fun to watch. Our 5th, 6th grade girls team, they went into double overtime, and it was very, very exciting. And so they play Monday. I'm excited to go watch them.
And how's Jason Piercy hanging in there? I know this is a rough time for him. Is he doing okay?
What are you talking about? He's crushing it. He's in his element right now, running a great tournament, taking care of everyone. His daughter plays for our middle school team too, so he's going, supporting them. He's all over the place. You know he's doing great.
Oh, he can handle it if anybody can. And I know he's got a lot. I know he's got a lot of good help too out there.
Yeah, he has a very great team behind him, and they make this tournament really, really great.
Well, Hannah, good luck to you the rest of the way, and I hope to talk to you soon. And thank you for being here this morning. And we will. Good luck. Go Cougars. How about that?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. That's Hannah Jones, the head coach of the Middle Tennessee Christian School Lady Cougars. Always a pleasure to talk to her. And Brian Barrett, after this break, is going to come back and wrap up Cougar Corner.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other, and most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President